the stop sign and I say no?
We'll all crack up if you do.
Oh, she'll be flashing it at me. Dawn will be flashing me. Okay, what are
Trying to boost attendance?
we are trying to boost attendance. Now it says we're live. Okay, gals, are you ready? We
Absolutely.
got about 2 minutes before we're actually really live in the real world.
But they'll be seeing this part too, right?
They'll see this part, of course they will. So no swears and use your manners, Pam. And maybe we'll get to see your ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But not really then if you're looking where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't want you to see it.
No.
We'll let you know.
If I scream and run, you'll know what happened.
If you scream and run. How about if we scream and run, you should run.
If something taps you on the shoulder,
Are you alone?
In this big building
So you
all by
think.
myself. Thank you for that thought too.
So you think you're alone. Is everybody else alone? Or do you have family members? You got people in your house, Connie?
Well, in my house, but
Oh, you're in the office.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
smart.
I was going to, but my cat just loves to, when I do these meetings, to crawl all over me, so.
I know the dogs.
I
are in the
love your
house, so-
cats. Did you guys see her cat this week in the meeting and it was rubbing its butt on the screen?
yeah, that was cute.
I can't take
I
it.
missed
I
that.
get so distracted.
And then she
How are you
meow.
doing, Dawn? We're live.
Hey.
We're live.
We're live, and I'm proud of myself because I didn't go, are we live yet? And I didn't say, I can't see you guys.
Can you hear me yet? Can you hear me?
Those are my
yet?
2 trademarks.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear everybody great. I hope everybody out there that's joining us can hear us all okay and see us all okay. We're all coming to you from different corners of Southwest Wisconsin. And that's the beauty of the internet, the beauty of technology. So did anybody do anything fun today?
I submitted all the paperwork for my home listing.
First one?
Hey,
First home listing, the last one I did was basic plans.
Time for the applause. Also, I will give you this one.
Thanks.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Good job. Congratulations.
Not so much for Dawn, because Dawn has to proof it.
Dawn. Oh, we should mention the assistant is here. Do you want to peek over the corner? She's going to come in. You're going to see her.
Yes.
I told you guys she existed. I told you she was here. She likes to hide in the corner. She feels safer in the corner.
Best backup
A lot for me, Dawn.
person ever.
She's the what?
Best backup person ever.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, she's so
I agree. We love our Dawn.
small. Yes, we do.
We have different, well, pet names for her. Donnie, Donetta.
Donetta.
And in this part,
I'm not allowed to use the other ones. Yes. Whatever, censorship over here. Okay, it's only 6:27. All right, so Cheryl, you got your first accepted offer and you got your first listing. Awesome. Connie,
it
what'd
yours?
you do for fun today?
not too much. Well, I did new agent orientation.
Well, no, that's fun.
Yeah. A little overwhelmed, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's, what do they say, drinking from a water hose?
Yeah.
A little bit. But
Yeah.
it'll all make sense, right, Cheryl?
It will. And don't hesitate to ask me because that new stuff is still very fresh in my mind, Connie. So I'm here to, I can help you with that. I can't necessarily help you write a contract yet, but I can help you with that.
Well, we got your back, no matter what. We got your back, right, Pam?
Right. Yes, definitely.
Pam, do you want to tell us what you did for fun today?
I actually am starting to work on my, this, I don't know how much fun this is, my Thanksgiving list and my Christmas list. So yeah, I want to get that out of the way before it hits. So I'm trying to
Checking
get stuff
who's
done.
naughty and nice.
Yeah. I don't know how
Anybody?
it's gonna work this year though, with not being able to be around everybody.
I know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get creative.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go peek inside the window, like just stand outside and peek in everybody's windows.
Yeah. That won't be strange. Stalker Pam.
I was gonna say that won't get you arrested.
Yeah, they can come visit me then. Everybody come see me. Yeah.
This is from Dawn.
Yeah. Just come visit me in the pen. I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll be there with you.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the time. It's almost 6:30, so we're gonna be starting real soon here. Yeah. Do you want me to just, the boss said to start.
Good.
She says start. Okay. Hey guys. Thanks for joining us. I am Nancy K. Smith, and this is the Real Estate Roundtable. And this episode is Ask the Agents. So the lovely ladies that I have coerced into being here with me tonight are agents who are working out of the First Weber Southwest region, which is the region that I manage. We have our seasoned veteran, Pam, I love to call you that. And then we also have two newer agents. We've got Cheryl Mortvedt and we've got Connie Steinhoff. And in a minute, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. But first, I just wanna let you know, if you're having any questions about this, Dawn, the assistant, who did sneak her head around here briefly. Dawn is here. She's answering all the questions in the chat. So if you want to go in and ask any questions, you can feel free to do that. She'll be running the show from behind. So who wants to start? Let's have a brief introduction.
I'm Pam Kruschke, Spring Green office. I've been in the business since 1979. And I think it's going to stick. I haven't changed my mind yet, so I think it's good. I think it's good.
Love you. Who else wants to go?
I'm Cheryl. I'm out of the Dodgeville office, and I have more than 20 years of business consulting experience behind me that led me to where I am now, but also sort of a lot of events in my life that's caused us to move several times, and move to the country has caused me to have a great love for real estate. So I'm super excited to be starting on this new adventure, and like we just talked about, drinking from the knowledge fire hose of this new industry. So I'm very, very excited to be here.
Awesome. Welcome. Connie.
I'm Connie Steinhoff. I am in Platteville. My background is teaching and working with senior citizens. And Nancy called me a boomerang the other day because I joined First Weber, a while back, and life throws you curveballs, and I got a curveball thrown at me and I had to leave. But I'm back and I'm really excited to start again. So I am really new, but learning as much as I can, just absorbing things like a sponge.
Well, and I think the interesting thing, I was thinking about this tonight while we were getting ready to go on, was that, you started at a time when it was very brick and mortar, and it was very much physical location dependent as far as having an office. And over the time that you've been gone, technology and all the other advancements that we have made this so much easier for you. You are actually sitting in your home office right now.
Yes.
Talking to us. You did your real estate classes from there. You did your everything. You're doing your training from there, everything.
Yeah. It is a lot different. It's it used to be paper, pencil, a lot of phone calls, physical office here, and then now everybody's connected online. So and the resources that we have are online, which makes them easy to access.
Yes, I agree. Ladies, thank you so much for agreeing to join me tonight. Now come the questions. And my favorite one is going to be first. When you were a little girl growing up, what did you want to be?
because of my love of animals, I always wanted to be a veterinarian. And I when I got into high school, I still wanted to be a veterinarian. That was my goal. My dad was Air Force. We were stationed up in South Dakota, Ellsworth Air Force Base. And so I went to high school there. And I went out, and went over to a veterinarian place and tried to work with a veterinarian. And I couldn't do it. I could not handle sick cats and dogs. I could not handle injured, abused. I was a mess. My heart was just broken all the time. So I said, you know what, this is not for me. I'm going to be a disaster case before I even, graduate. So I turned a different direction and went into business, running stores and things like that, opening stores. I opened Kmart's and things like that. So total different roundabout.
And then who else wants to go?
Go.
Mine sort of evolved. I
go ahead.
wanted to be a, because when I was a little girl was when Mary Lou Retton got the gold, right? So that was my driving factor for that. And then it evolved into wanting to be an orthodontist. And at some point I must have decided I didn't want to put my hands in people's mouths, or I realized how much schooling was involved. And I decided to go into accounting and business, and I stuck with that. So my degree from UW-Madison is in accounting, and then I had an emphasis in Spanish, which I don't have anymore, so you don't have to ask me about that. But then that led me to the business consulting and a lot of technical implementations of financial software. So a good journey.
Yeah.
And when I was a little girl, I was the oldest in a very large family. There were 7 of us, and I had to take care of the younger ones. So mom worked full time, dad worked full time. And so I did a lot of childcare, and that made me want to be a teacher. I loved school, and I helped my brothers and sisters, and I was caretaker for them a lot of the time. And so I wanted to be that. And we had some really crazy basketball games in our home driveway, and I wanted to be a professional basketball player too, but yeah, that didn't happen either.
And here we all are in real estate. Well, if you've watched my other shows, you know that I wanted to be a housewife and a psychologist and a hairdresser, and here I am in real estate, but I love it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, gals, what was your first real job out of high school or college where you actually were supporting yourself?
Mine
first.
was-
Go ahead.
Okay.
We're going to go in the same order.
Yeah, I don't think there's a rule, but anyway, I'll step in here.
Okay.
I actually got married right out of high school, and then I had been working at Kmart, and I was working my way up through Kmart. So that's probably the best one. And that was where I got my business, skills and everything else that I carried on for a few years. But yeah, Kmart, I would say, was that was my first real job. I did other little odds and ends things, but that was a real job where I got paid. So.
Okay. Connie?
Okay, well, I had the wonderful shift at the local country kitchen from 11 to 7 to work with the bar rush. And in a college town, the bars were packed till 2, and then everybody wanted a bite to eat, and then they went home. And so the line was out the door, down the street, waiting for a table. I think I made like $2.70 an hour wage, but the tips were good.
I think we need to have another session where we just hear stories from Connie's bar shift.
College, that had to be.
Dawn says applause. I can't find the sign right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
How about you, Cheryl?
That had. I had a lot of waitressing jobs through college, but my first career job, I guess, was actually at the Famous Footwear headquarters doing inventory control. And I learned a lot about managing inventory for different stores. And then I think the most interesting part for me was, depending on the area of the country that the store was in, which of the products had shrinkage. So which one, typically that meant which ones had been stolen.
Yep.
And at that time, Air Jordans were huge. And so that was really an interesting time to kind of monitor that. But then after that, I quickly wanted to get into public accounting. So I transitioned over to public accounting. So a little bit of those things.
Well, and this really, it just underscores again, this industry of real estate, you get people from all walks of life, and pretty much anybody can do real estate. It's just a matter of, being competent. And I think having, systems and training and support, that's really important. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit more here down the road. Let's get really into the meat of it now. What got you interested in real estate?
Well, I got into it quite by accident. I was managing a store here in Spring Green, Nina's, and the owner had promised me that he would train me for 4 or 5 years because I had the business background of being with Kmart and everything, and I had done everything there, payroll and everything else. So he was training me, and year 4.5, he ended up unfortunately dying. And so that dream was kind of put on hold there for a minute, because then his spouse came in and pretty much took over. And someone heard of how I was not happy with the situation, because I had wanted to buy the store and own it and run it. And this person actually said, well, why don't you, or had talked to someone in real estate. Pat O'Brien was my original broker, and talked to him about me. And he called me one day and said, can you come to work tomorrow? I go, no, I have to give 2 weeks notice. What is this? He said, well, it's real estate. I'll explain it to you when you get here. Well, I mean,
Assumptive close.
So 10 days I was working in real estate, and I was basically doing the trust account stuff and taking care of customers and mailers and all those kinds of things. And he heard me talking on the phone one day to a customer, whatever you want to call him at that point in time. And he walked out there and he goes, what are you doing? I went, oh, I thought I was in trouble. And he goes, what are you doing? I go, no, I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong? He says, no. He says, you go get your license. We can always get someone else to replace you. I went, okay. So then I started studying, which was nice because I could learn on the job, and I studied while I was working, making money. So that really helped. And it was an accident. It was a total accident. I cannot believe how much I fell in love with it. I had never even thought about real estate. And there I was. Here I am. So.
Quite accidental. I like Pat. I like how he took the bull by the horns with you.
Yeah, he did. I thought I was going to get fired. I mean, like, oh my gosh.
Anybody else?
When I was feeling like it was time for a change, I had to do a lot of kind of soul searching about, am I going to do more consulting with a different company that I already do, or am I going to completely shake things up? And like I had said before, we had about 7 different transactions with a different agent and that we had worked with, and a couple on our own. And I just thought, I think I really want to shake things up and just make things, brand new. I mean, being at the age I am, it's sort of like, it's a good time. A lot of people are starting a new career. So I just decided that I had really enjoyed the process. I had really enjoyed being a part of it. And I did a lot of that all of the times. And so that's sort of what led me to think that it might be a good fit. And I love taking care of people. And a lot of what I did with my customer service kind of led into a good transition with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my story is a little different. We've moved quite a bit. And every time we moved, It required buying a new home and selling an old home, and you know, each home has its own unique character and its own unique architecture, and to make each one of those homes a place for our family and reflect our family, that was exciting. I really liked doing that. The first time that I got into real estate, I was with Tom Knoll, who is now retired in Platteville. And he got me started. And then, like I said, I got the curveball, and life took another twist. And then I got to thinking now I had some more time on my hands, and I thought, oh, I'd like to go back and do that again. That was really fun. I met great realtors, great people to work with each time we had a transaction. And so I'd like to do that for someone else. So that's why I'm in it again.
That's awesome. And shout out to Tom Knoll, because we miss him. He was in it. He was really one of the best. So I'm glad. That was actually one of the things that made me nervous about you, Connie, was like, oh my God, like she's used to Tom. I cannot live up to that.
He might be watching. I invited him.
He might be. Hey, Tom. Okay, here's the big question. And the one that really this whole session is framed around. Why First Weber? What made you pick First Weber? Pam, I know your story is going to be a little bit different, but why First Weber?
Well, we were with a franchise, a very well-known franchise and a good franchise, but it seemed like when the downturn came in the marketplace, 2005, 6, 7, and 8, we felt like we were being left behind with our franchise company, and they were not supporting us. And we were never seeing our manager guy come around once every 2 years or something. It was really pathetic. And when we got into the franchise that we were in, we were like 25 or 26 in the state of Wisconsin with this franchise. And when I got out, we were in like 25, 26 years. When I got out, we were, I think there were 3 left of us. That was it. So they had basically abandoned us and gone to the East and West Coast, which I don't blame them. That's where their bread and butter was, probably steak and potatoes too. But I had decided, my partner and I had decided we were just gonna kind of wing it on our own. We're getting out of this franchise. We're not ever gonna go on a franchise again, kind of thing. We're gonna be our own brokers again, because we were both brokers. And that didn't, about 9 months into it, it was like, oh my gosh, it was like having a baby almost. It was so painful. With all the IT and all the agents out here that were doing all the internet stuff and the website, they were so good. There were young people coming in and just absolutely scaring us to death for a little, company here with 4, 5, or 6 people. And I just happened to mention it one day while I was in the realtors meeting with Nancy sitting on my right, who I did not even know hardly, other than looking at her and going, oh, that's Nancy. Okay. And I just mentioned her. I said, well, I am so glad we're getting out of this franchise that we're in. I said, oh, I don't know what we're going to do. And she just kind of looked at me like this, and she turned around she didn't really say that much. We didn't talk anymore hardly about it. The next thing I knew, I was getting a phone call and everything else from First Weber, Jim Imhoff, who I love. He's an amazing man. Nancy and everybody. All of a sudden, they just kind of took us into Madison. We went to their corporate office. I walked in there. I saw what they offered. I saw all of the family feeling that I got, the IT, the training, the support. And I mean, I walked out there and I said, where do I sign? So First Weber ended up buying us out, a 3-year buyout, which was fabulous. It got me freed up to do what I like to do, which is go out, buy and sell, not hire, fire, check everything over, make sure everything's good, and sit in the office and do all that crazy paperwork. So that was 2010. And I'll tell you one thing, my feet have hardly stayed put since. I have been running and gunning ever since. I just love it. Just love it.
And I think that's really, so just so you know, I wasn't ignoring you. My wheels were turning. In my head, I was like, things to do about Pam. But no, I think we've really noticed for you is just how much you've really enjoyed just being an agent and just being free to just take care of your business. Yeah. All right. So then we have two newer agents with us tonight. Tell us, ladies, what brought you to First Weber? Don't fight over it.
Go ahead,
Who's
Connie.
first?
You guys are so polite. You're out politing each other.
We are. Okay,
I know,
I'll
right?
go ahead. You want to go first? I'll go first. Okay. So the first time it was Tom. I wanted to work with Tom. He was our agent when we bought and sold a lot of houses here. So I stuck with him. But I learned at that point that First Weber really, really wants their agent. They give them the tools to do it and access to people who are going to help you. One statistic that just blows my mind is that with a company this big, with 70 offices in Wisconsin and international and global reach, you can still just pick up the phone and get help. And you've got a 98% customer service satisfaction. That just blows my mind because I'm here for the people who are buying and selling. You know, it's a big time in their life, and they're happy when they work with First Weber, as evidenced in that survey. And that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of a positive force in people's lives when they have to change or when they have a change. So
I love that.
That's what brought me back.
Thank you.
That's awesome. When I had been doing my soul searching, as I mentioned earlier, and trying to figure out what I was going to do next, and I had thought about real estate, one thing that I was a little concerned about was just how many agents there are. And I had done some talking to people about, is the market saturated? And then once I realized, I kept getting a resounding no, it's not, because we all have, different circles and different groups of people that we connect with and talk to and everything. Then I started interviewing firms and who I wanted to work with. And the agent that I had spent a lot of time working with on our own personal transactions, I adore him. We did wonderful things with him, but he even explained to me that, the place that he works with is not made for newer agents. They don't specialize in, they'll answer questions, but they don't specialize in the mentoring and the education and all of those things of being available. It's far more, you gotta figure it out. And same thing with other places that I had talked to. And we had actually talked to a listing agent for our family home from First Weber out of Waukesha. And she was wonderful. And in the meantime, I had already called Nancy in Dodgeville as one of the people that I was kind of interviewing myself to see if I would like to work there and if the career was right for me. And I really, really was impressed with what she had to say. And, we had several Zoom calls and phone calls because I was out of town. And on top of it all, one of the office managers at another firm had made a comment to me that she said, whenever we try to recruit agents from other firms, we can never get First Weber firms away from First Weber. And that just sort of cinched the deal. It was sort of like, okay, well, now my gut is, being confirmed that this is where I need to go. So, and I have been thrilled with the whole process. I really have been thrilled with how much it's like, there's so much to learn that I'm like, I don't know what to learn next.
Well, I love that. I love that. Because I agree. I think we've all kind of like, I think at different times talked about the family feeling that we get. And, we're all independent contractors. We all do our own thing, but there is a real sense of family. And we're like my motto, we survive together. We're very connected and very engaged. And we have the tools that make it really easy for us to do that. So rather than me stumbling over my words, let me move on to the next question. The next question is, what is your number one? I know we have a lot of resources. What is your number one favorite resource from First Weber?
That's hard to say. Wow, just to pick one. Well, here are my top three. I have about 10, but here are my top three. I would say the training and education that First Weber gives us is fabulous. You cannot get that anywhere else, in any place else. I swear, I've been to a few of the other companies. I know what they offer, and that's hands down. The IT department, oh, well, I tell you, I spend a lot of time on the phone, and they help me with my computer all the time, because at my age, I haven't grown up like these young ladies have with all of this tech support and knowledge. So I've kind of had to learn on my own, which is okay. My 7-year-old can do more than I can on the computer, which is okay. And then we have probably one of the nicest, funniest, nicest, smartest, funniest person as an attorney, and that's Attorney Kim. I call him Attorney Kim. And he is, if you need help on anything, he is so accessible, rather than having to call another attorney and find out this and that and the other thing, which is with all the other companies that I talked with and our franchise, we had to get our own attorney. You could not, no other company had that. That is such a big help when you have really strange things going on in a deal, and that happens a lot of times. So I say those are my top three: the training, the IT department for help, and our attorney.
All right. Anybody else?
Well, I'm heavy in the training right now. So I love the Buzz Bay Connection and the Catapult program, which is helping me lay the foundation so that I can get my ducks in a row and I can get hit the ground running. So and the support, like you said, having an attorney on staff is fabulous. It's hard to pick one. Like Pam said, it's hard to pick one because there's so much. But all those resources are there to support, and whatever issue you come up with, I'm sure it's been dealt with before, or people will jump through hoops to help you deal with it. So
yeah, true.
I agree.
It's like having 5 or 6 children and you love them all to death. But I'm sure there's one day that you love one more than the other one, and then the next day you love another one more than the rest of them. So it's that's the way it is. That's the way I look at it.
Have you been talking to my kids?
Yeah, right. Exactly. There is a point, Pam, to be said that it's kind of like whatever moment you're in that you need something, that's probably the tool that you're the most grateful for at that time, right? So yeah,
exactly.
The tool, and I'm not trying to get brownie points, but the tool that I use the most right now is Nancy and Dawn. They've just been so supportive through the contracts, because they're just,
they're in my top 5.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Oh,
I've had to pick up the phone and call them so many times about like wording and verbiage on things and how should I phrase this, because like the check boxes themselves aren't so scary anymore, but like I don't want to word myself into a corner or word Nancy into a corner, so that's been really big. And just like, last week I had called Nancy and said, here's the situation. I've got these 3 different parties and it's all, how should I handle this? And those experiences and listening to, what she's gone through before, and like, and just soaking all of that in is just so valuable to say. Or when she says, well, I had this issue with a well the other day, and I'm like, oh, tell me more, because I just want to hear about, what did you do, kind of thing. And that's picking their brains is priceless. And yes, the IT team is wonderful. The help desk is wonderful. I did IT for 20 years, so I'm pretty confident with that stuff, but the training is wonderful. But yeah, I mean, it's all wonderful, but those two.
Maybe I should be calling you.
I know, right? But they,
Dawn and I could use a little break, but.
That's right. Exactly. I'm the annoying new agent.
No, that's the thing, I guess from my perspective as a manager, I live for this stuff. I love, like Connie's a teacher. She would understand this sensation of, I get so excited when somebody wants to learn something. And when new agents come in and they always say, well, who's going to be there for me? I will. I'll be there for you. Dawn will be there for you, right? Yep. Dawn will be there for you. And we love doing it. And the thing is, it's going to mean so much more to you when you're not looking at a training that's doesn't pertain to you, but like Cheryl is experiencing, this is something I actually have to figure out. Like I have to know what to tell these people when I go meet with them. Now it means so much more. And so the training becomes so much more interesting when it's real life and it's really happening. So I get excited too, you guys, in a whole different way.
I get it. I know from mentoring our juniors consultants, I felt the same way. Like, oh, look at it. You can just see the light bulb went on in their faces.
Yeah.
All coming together.
Now with Teams, you can see a lot. You can see a lot, right? Or Zoom. Okay, Pam, I'm going to pick on you.
Okay.
How do our resources compare to what you had with other brokers? Or I think you might have interviewed other brokers, but we go back to this thing of how do our resources stack up? Do you think that what we offer is unique, or is this very commonplace anymore? Do you know?
Yeah, well, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with other companies because we were Countryland Realty before, when I got in, and then we were with a franchise for 25 years, and then we were on our own again, and then we were with First Weber. So just working with other agents from other companies, I see what happens with them. A lot of them will talk to me about what's going on with First Weber and why I'm still there, and would you come somewhere else? I had 4 or 5 companies already that when we got out of before we went into First Weber in 2010. But I worked with a few First Weber agents, and they always seemed to have their together. So I thought, wow, they really, and it's so funny. I used to complain about the offer to purchases that they would always present when I had a listing and they put an offer, and I go, what is with all this paperwork? But it makes so much sense because you do it right. And I really like that. And that's part of that training. So with other companies, I really haven't had that experience other than what I perceive goes on there. And it's not anywhere near what First Weber offers, in my estimation.
We're just really kind of second guessing at this point anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this question made a lot more sense before yesterday, Cheryl, but Connie and Cheryl, are you scared or anxious of your first few transactions? Talk to me.
I'm excited. I'm just really excited about, and then it's funny because I remember talking about this during the ninja training the abbreviated ninja training that I had taken, is that, I'm going through this process, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, but I can't lose sight of this. I got to keep prospecting. I got to keep, you can't just, get tunnel vision on the one thing. And so that was also, but I'm excited, and I guess, a little bit anxious, just in the sense that now I want to make sure that I usher it through smoothly. Now I want to make sure that the, soup to nuts, the rest of it is, we're still in the very beginning of the transaction. So that, I guess, is just a little bit anxious, just because I want to make sure that I'm ready to, jump wherever I need to jump, but not scared, just excited and having a ton of fun.
And Miss Connie.
And I feel the same way, Cheryl. I know that I'm going to be well prepared. I just have that confidence that I'm going to be well prepared, that the training and the resources that I have are going to be there. If there's any obstacles, I'm going to have people available to help me through that. And I'm just really anxious to, not anxious, I want to say excited, and I'll probably be really over prepared, but for the first couple of times, but I am looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to first listing, first buyers, contract, everything. I'm really anxious to get back out in the world and learn how to connect with people. So
yeah. Well, this pandemic's got us all looking forward to that.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep moving here. Well, for anybody, this is for anybody. Why do you think people should take the jump now and get into real estate now? I know my answer. I'm gonna let you guys answer first. Do you want me to answer first? I'll answer first.
Okay. Nancy's going to answer first.
I think the reason why people should take the jump and get into real estate now is because the market is so good. It's so good. And I want to go back to something that Cheryl alluded to, which was called Ninja. So we follow some Ninja training. Ninja in real estate is a relationship-based marketing. And so with that being said, 20% of the people that anybody knows is thinking about buying or selling real estate right now, okay? So if 20% of the people that you know, anybody who's watching this, if 20% of the people that you know are thinking about buying or selling real estate, the key for you is to become their agent of choice. And it's just that simple. I think any of the ladies here would agree that we have many, many ways that you can connect with and talk to people without being a hard sell. Nobody wants to be hearing, hey, are you ready to sell? Hey, do you want to sell? Hey, are you thinking about selling? Hey, are you thinking about moving? Nobody wants to hear that. And so what we want to know is, where are your struggles? What's going on with you? What do you need? What can I help you with? And that's really kind of where I think most of the First Weber agents are coming from these days. So
Right.
Why I think you should get into it, because it doesn't matter. And Pam can attest to this too. I've been doing this 23 years. I have never had a year, no matter what was going on in the economy, no matter what election was being held, no matter what was going on in the world, I have never had a year where I didn't have business. People need to move for one reason or another, and they do. And they take advantage of what they think is the best market or the best time if they have the leisure to do that. Or they say, I got to move. I got a job opportunity. I got to go. It's time for me to go. I got to sell this house. What do I do? And that's where the advantage of having a knowledgeable, skilled, professional real estate agent comes in, because we can talk to you about the market. We can talk to you about what you need to do. So it doesn't matter what's going on in this world. Right. I think people are always going to need that advice from us. So now I've taken the stage. What do you guys think?
Wow, I don't know how we can beat that. That was a good answer.
Or brownie points.
I think now's a good time too, because I do believe the market is good. And for all the years, I've been in First Weber for now 10 years. And it appears, I have to check with my husband. He's my bookkeeper, Cheryl, my accountant. And he always keeps me on track, always tells me what I'm doing, what I'm making. And it appears if things go the way they're going for the rest of the year, this is going to be my best year in a pandemic. Can you believe that? With low inventory. I'm going, what? Well, this was the year I was going to retire. And I thought, I can't go anywhere. I still feel good. I'm healthy. I really love this job. I'll just keep working. Yeah. And here is going to be one of my, I'm sure it's going to be my best, but I'm going to say right now, one of my best, at least in my top 2 or 3. So that's fabulous. I think anybody with any kind of work ethic and any kind of brains, can do this job if you have to go into it with the idea that this is what you want to do. Like Connie said, love helping people. It really is very satisfying when the two things meet. You get the seller and the buyer, and everybody's happy. That's a great feeling. So,
it really is.
Yeah.
One of the books that I read a while back, I've always thrived on reading business books and in consulting and things. It's very important to stay on the market as well. And I feel like right now we're at kind of a tipping point for our society at the same time, because one of the things that you hear so many people talk about in the COVID world, in our pandemic, is how we all hope that our calendars never look like they did before the pandemic. Because we were, so swamped every single day, every single weekend, every single night, just with things going on. And now people are finding that, yes, I want to get out and see my friends. And yes, I want to get out and go to dinner and do these things. But I also am really appreciating the family time, and I'm really appreciating slowing down. And I feel like that's also bringing evolution of where people want to live and an evolution of what they're looking for in their home. It's not so much like I just want it to be a place to, you know, sleep. It's also I want it to be a place to nourish my family and to be able to spend time and enjoy it and not be on top of each other. I have so many people, you know, you say, Nancy, we don't want to beg people to move, but I kind of do. If you live in the country, please move, because we have a lot of people trying to move to the country that want to spread out and just enjoy, you know, the nature and the woods and everything else. And, you know, so I think that's also a big shift, is how people are looking at their homes differently than they did before.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they need more space because of online school.
yeah, yeah. And you mentioned with the pandemic, I have a lot more time to think about. I've had the time to study to get my license. I've had that time. And the time to put my feet on the ground. And it's something that it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, it's not like you graduate from college, you have to be young and start your career then and build up from then. Because I retired early and I am looking forward to a lot of years of doing this yet. So
Atta girl.
excited.
So are we.
I'll still be here, I'm sure. I'll still be
Oh
here.
God, Pam, we're never gonna leave. We're gonna be here forever.
You're gonna drag me out the door by my feet. I just know that.
Probably. Well, I was gonna shackle you to your desk. I just didn't know if Kim would approve of that.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Maybe he's not listening.
you
He's
think he is?
not. We're good to go.
Yay.
I have to check
Let's
with the
say
boss
something
for a
really
minute.
bad and see if he responds, then we'll know.
Oh my gosh. Don't put a swear out. That'll get us in trouble.
No.
He used to say that I'm not gonna say it. No, Dawn said I can't say it. Do we have any questions?
No. Great we are.
All right. Well, we love you guys too. We love you too. Ladies, come on. Who's got questions, comments, anything here on the panel? Oh, Pam. More of these tonight.
Oh, I just appreciate it, people watching. That's great.
oh, yeah.
Great.
I think it's been great too. So what I want to do is I want to just say, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, Pam mentioned something that was really, really important, and that was the tour of our corporate office. Our corporate office is kind of like the brain of the operations. And so from there, you're going to learn so much. Now, because of the pandemic, we're not doing that in person anymore, as Connie knows, because Connie did basically her little orientation today, which was everybody from corporate kind of weighing in and telling you what they do. Now, if you are not part of our organization, but you would like to know more, I would like to invite you to a message or an email or a text, whatever it takes, and let me know that you want to get in on that, because I can hook you up. And it's very one-on-one now, because you really get this individual and unique experience where you get to kind of meet and learn about the different sections. So we talked about the resources, and I would say some of those resources at our corporate office include, we have our own print shop. They have their own website where you can go in and you can order mailers, and they do laminated postcards and flyers and things like that that can go out. We have, what do they call it? Stay in Touch. So Stay in Touch is a mailing campaign. Yeah. Stay in Touch is a mailing campaign where on a regular basis, you can have your people in your sphere or your contacts receive a mailing from you. First Weber really is big on branding you. And so you have your own web page, and you get to, you're pretty much branded and promoted with pretty much a click of anything. We offer a variety of emails, ways to post on social media. There's all of that. We have a marketing department. We are upgrading our website right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but we are. We're upgrading our website right now, making it a lot more user-friendly and mobile-friendly. And like Pam stated, we have our own attorney. We have the best leadership We have the best training. We just have the best people. I'm going to go back to something Pam talked about, and that was Jim Imhoff.
Oh.
So Jim Imhoff is like, he's my mentor. He doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget the first time I met Jim and Bob. And Jim and Bob.
That sounds like a joke starting at Jim and
No,
Bob.
I mean, they're the dynamic duo. Like back in the day, and this is like what, 20 years ago when I joined First Weber, and they were so personable. They knew all these people. They were connected in so many ways in the real estate world, nationally and on a statewide level. And they knew me from Dodgeville, Wisconsin. And they knew my story, and they cared, and they took time to learn about what was important to me, and they took time to give me advice. And I'll never forget that. And they have always, always known my name. Everybody, when I go to corporate, people know me, and they talk to me like, they respect me. And I think that's the experience that we give our agents is, some of us call it family. And I don't know, to me, our motto is that our business is helping you create and define a meaningful life or a meaningful career, whatever that is. We all know that in real estate, career equals life. Your family's part of it, your community is part of it. And so it's such an important thing that we do as realtors. We are not just selling houses. We are here to help our communities, and we are here to help people. And I think that First Weber gives us everything that we need to be able to do that. So if you would like to know more, please reach out. I would love to talk to you. So ladies, do you have anything you want to add?
The only thing I can emphasize.
You're speechless.
The only thing I can emphasize with what you just said, Nancy, is the giving back to community and the foundation that supports nonprofits. First Weber has, and
foundation.
And giving back to all of our communities is amazing. The support that they've given. So I'm really proud to be part of that as well.
I agree. Our foundation has given out way over $1 million.
Yeah.
And we pour that money into our communities, and it gives our agents a little boost, to help our communities. So yeah, did I forget anything? Did I forget anybody?
I think so.
Shauna, we should talk about Shauna. She's great.
Shauna.
Yeah. Tammy, have you ever met Tammy Medente? Cal? Kevin?
Yeah. Super people.
Oh my gosh. These people are amazing.
They are.
So yeah, we would really like you to get to know them too. And yeah, I think we're done. Dawn, do we have anything else?
No.
The boss says we're done.
No.
We're out. Now, I'm very gracefully going to try and stop what's happening right now. But who are we kidding? No, I have to say it because there's a few people that tease me about it. How do I stop this? I found it. Don't worry, I found it. All right, I'm going to stop our live. Thank you if you joined us tonight. I really appreciate your time and your interest in us. Thank you.